All right, we should be live. Hello, are we live? Hello, hello, are we good? What is up with YouTube and the stream connection today? Are we good? Can I get a sound check and a visual check? We can see you now. Awesome. Okay, let me grab the girls real quick because Daniel Hulan, are you in the chat? Uncle Daniel. All right. Let me grab the girls because they are wearing their new outfits. I will be right back. Where's that? Okay, we're gonna see how successful we can be with this. This is the first time in stream history, I believe, that the girls have been on the camera at the same time. Hello, girls. But they're wearing their new outfits from their Uncle Daniel Hulan. Can anyone guess which one's Lexi and which one's Mia? Hi, girls. Dan H, which is also another Dan H, is not Daniel Hulan, if I remember correctly. But we're just chilling. Okay, let me see. Okay, how am I gonna do this? All right, girls, you chill right here. You chill. They were just fed and changed, so they should be good, hopefully for a little bit. First in the house, we got Craig Lilly. Hello, Craig. What up? Coalition Gaming Chris. What up, Staying 2007? What up, Teams? Swavy Motorsports. I still forget if it's Team Swavy or Teams Wavy. But what up? We got K130 in the house as always. Hello, hello, hello. What up, Malik? Let's see. And thanks for trying not to spoil it, but it's okay. I think it's been out. The video's been out for what? 5-6 days now? So people have had time to watch it. Oh. They're very vocal now. Yes. What up, Canadian guy? Hello, 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 giant robots. I'm just gonna quickly try to get caught up in chat because I need to keep my hands on them, and I'll just let the chat scroll. What up, Dispatcher Gaming? Hello. What's up, girl? Hi. I should have worn a neutral hoodie, like a blue one, but I'm wearing a green one. Does not mean I support Team Green more than Team Red or any other team. What up, Indecline? Hello, Killer NSYNC. What up, Mike? Let's see. Okay, Enthusiastic Guy. Hello, hello, hello. What up, Sean? Can anyone make a recommendation on a gaming headset that won't break the bank? Unfortunately, I cannot. I'm not an audiophile or a headset audio reviewer. What's up, girl? Okay, we will try actually to do the, because they like it when I stand up. Malik says, I remember when mines were, oh, yes? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Okay, we're gonna stand up. Left is Lexi. Wait, go by color. Oh, I guess, yeah, left. Left is Lexi. You guys are right. Lexi is wearing the green. Okay, we are gonna get up and, give me 1 second. Let me turn on the pan mover. Yeah? Okay. We're gonna track. We're gonna track, girls. Okay, now we can get up and make you guys happy. Okay, is it tracking on the girls? That works. Doesn't have to track on me. Shout out to Obsbot, by the way. Awesome webcams that are perfect for situations like this. So now I'm up and moving and they're happy. Okay, the real Dan H, please stand up. Exactly. Now if Danny had triplets, he could do Team Blue. That is true. And then every time a new GPU competitor enters a space, just have another kid, right? Let's see. Kevin says, beautiful family, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We are very lucky to have two healthy, amazing little girls that sometimes drive us crazy because they still be waking up in the middle of the night and fussing like crazy. But surprisingly, I mean, not surprisingly, they have their on and off moments. But usually around this time, they get pretty fussy. And that's when the backup comes in, grandma or their auntie comes to help while I stream. But my goodness, the timing today worked out just perfectly. They were fed like half an hour ago, changed. So, yeah. So, how was it having twins? It's difficult. Like, having one kid already is difficult. Just imagine multiplying that by 2. It's not 2 times harder. It's more than 2 times harder because it's stacked. And with regards to time and the amount of hands you have to, like, take care of the kids, you need, like, for the most part, 2 parents on deck. For now, anyways. Dual wielding baby, says Dan H. Exactly. And I'm getting used to, like, holding them and being able to maneuver them and stuff. Their neck strength is getting strong enough where, like, I can pick them both up without worrying about their heads flopping over. Floating Toe says, I have a son and about to have a daughter. What a life. Indeed. Honest truth. If you guys didn't know already that they were girls, would you say that they look like boys? Because in public, they have been confused as boys before when we're pushing them out and about, like at the store or wherever, in their stroller, and people see them. So many people mistaking them for boys. But I know. I changed their diapers. I can see down there. They are not boys. Yep, I can see that if you didn't tell us, yeah. But they do have a lot of hair for, like, they came out with almost this much hair. It's just not, it hasn't had a chance to grow long enough yet. So, and I love to floof up. You see Lexi's hair? See Lexi's hair here? I love to floof it up. And that, like, also makes her look more like a boy. But, hi girls, you guys just chilling? You guys are so good right now. Oh. What's wrong? You want me to do some squats? Let's see, how do you like squats? There's a camera, yep. We're gonna do some squats. You good still? Okay, she might be fussing. We're just chilling, as we always do in every stream at the beginning. Let people join in before we get into the main topics, which, as you guys have seen from the thumbnail and the title, I was recently in a Linus Tech Tips video, so I wanted to kind of talk about that and go through the video a little bit, as well as do what we normally do on every stream. Hey. The net guy, what up, John? We have a 14-foot trampoline. Come on over and we'll put them in the cage. Hope you're doing well, John. What up, Shauner? Hello. Techman Ty says, babies are its for many months. Are its for many months? Especially the chubsters. Lexi is definitely the chubster between the two. Yeah? How you doing, girls? You getting sick of the sitting position? We just keep it moving, and then they keep their cool. We keep it moving, and they keep their cool. I want to get them body harnesses so I could curl them. Hey. This is like a Six Flags Magic Mountain ride, except for babies. It's going up and down. Where's your Intel GPU, baby? I'm going to have to wear the Intel shirt. I'll take one for the team. How long ago was the Linus video filmed? That was filmed on the first weekend of August. So, about 3 weeks before it came out. Team Green always Green having always the last word. It's funny because Mia, who's wearing the AMD jersey, usually is more talkative. Also, they do this thing where they talk a bunch, and then we try to record it because it's like super cute and stuff. But then as soon as they see us pull out the phone and record, they just get like silent. Do they have an AMD and GeForce shirt? That is what they are wearing, yes. Which I don't know if Daniel Hulan is going to join in later, or I'll send him a link as well as send him pictures. But they look awesome. Haha, bro is going to get buff raising those two? Hopefully, because I've been slacking when it comes to working out. So, but I am holding and taking care of them a lot. So hopefully that makes up for my slacking. I can actually feel it in my arms right now. I've been holding them. They're about 12-ish, 13 pounds right now. And it's just these static holds for a long time. It definitely wears out your arms. Damn, it took them 3 weeks to edit the video. I mean, with everything that goes into it, they had multiple camera angles, multiple mics, audio, and stuff like that. It doesn't surprise me that it takes them that long, because they've also, you know, they're working on multiple videos at a time. And then this was in sponsorship with Jawwall, where they had to list the PC builds to sell and all that stuff too. So there's a lot of prep that goes into it. I'm sure there's some videos that they probably edit quicker than that. But yeah, this one was, you know, it's a collab between them and 4 separate channels. So definitely took quite a bit of coordination. You look good in the LTT video. Thanks, Shauner. I'm going to point out when we watch the video what points I'm kind of cringe or embarrassed about myself. Like when he, at the end, reached out for my hand, didn't it look like he was trying to give me a handshake? And then he wasn't. He was trying to grab my arm to raise it for victory. As well as in the beginning, because I was the one closest to him, I was awkwardly just standing in the background while he was going through, you know, the contest rules and stuff like that. How fast can they join our LAN parties? Well, not this upcoming LAN party video. They weren't born yet. The one that's going to release this weekend. They weren't born yet, but our next LAN party is not going to be at my house. The one after that, in the first half of 2026, if it's at our house, they will be in the video, I'm sure. It was funny, yes. I think the short, or the if you subscribe to Floatplane or the other thing, or YouTube memberships, the behind the scenes stuff will have a lot more like funny interactions, as they showed in the preview. Okay, girls, Daddy's arm's getting tired, so you have to sit on my lap now. You guys are so good. How long has the stream been going on? Almost 14 minutes. And y'all have been so chill. MK1G says, when is the new LAN party video coming out? Are you done with them, Danny? Yep. We can be done. Okay, we go. Here, you want to take Lexi real quick?
I got both of them.
You got both? It's okay. Cindy got both. All right.
We're good.
Thanks, Auntie Cindy.
One just has to be lower, one has to be higher.
Okay. So that was fun. Let me adjust the lights. how we normally do. Okay. All right. Oh, my arms. Yeah, LAN party video is coming out I'm trying to get it out Friday because PAX West is this weekend, and I need to get it out so I can go to PAX without worrying about editing and releasing videos. But I'm still editing it right now. Let me see if I can pull it up. It must have been a while for me. Is your camera? Yeah, it was following. I'm using a different camera now, one with a built-in gimbal. But let me show you guys the LAN video before we get into the LTT discussion. If this decides to open, hopefully it doesn't crash my computer. Time to get in some protein after that. Yeah. By the way, what was the thumbnail in the LAN party? The first thumbnail, I was doing A/B testing. Is this George Cam gonna work? But yeah, I was doing A/B testing. Surprisingly, the butt cheeks thumbnail did not do that much better. Okay, 0, 1. Okay, 1, 9. Got it. Got it. It should be good now. Think this will work? Okay. So, hey, there's you guys in the chat. Hopefully it's not all super laggy. But, so here's the LAN party video. Let me see if I can pull it back. So, the way I edit it is like, there's the pre-LAN video, has its own timeline. Well, here's the day one, which at this point is, day one is 50 minutes long. Day two right now is, let me zoom out so you can see the timeline there. Day two is about currently an hour and a half long. I might keep it around there. Right. So right now what I'm doing is the audio kind of got messed up. So you see all these lines. I'm literally having to go through and fixing like loud audio individually, which is kind of a pain because there's no way to like do it all in one sweep. So like if you go to day one, if you see here, like I have to bring up audio levels and bring it down just because when you run and gun with the shotgun mic, especially with the way that, you know, I'm at the LAN party, I'm going to be the loudest person because I'm holding the camera and I'm closest to the mic. And then my friend from across the room who says something funny, like I have to amplify that audio. So that's the process that I'm going through right now, like fixing individual audio. And then day three is about 40 something minutes long. And then I still have to add in gameplay. So, yeah. Oh, there's Melissa. You guys just saw her for a split second. Kind of zoomed out. Not blurred, but connection would be dropped. But yeah. That is the status of that. I've basically been working on it for almost 2 weeks straight. And should be out this weekend. Can't you use a compressor? Yes, I do use a limiter. Compressor doesn't work that well because there's also a lot of background noise. So it's really hard when you do the compressor and limiter thing. Limiter works well because that caps off how loud it can get. So I do put a limiter on all the footage at around negative 7.5 dB. But the compressor is sometimes the like vocal audio is just barely louder than surrounding noise. So then it amplifies everything. So I like to fine tune setting the floor for the compressor. It takes as much time as me individually going through and doing it. Essentially, I can't just do like a sweeping compressor, unfortunately. But yeah, Star says, "Oh my god, I just started the stream so damn cute." Thank you. Expanded would be the one to use for wanting something that's quiet to be louder, but the background noise, yeah. So I kind of made the mistake of using a new mic that had a dual front back capsule. So I thought I could switch between the two, but essentially it sounds so different that I ended up having to use the front one. And a lot of the audio gets clipped. So unfortunately the audio for this one is kind of cooked. And I'm going to try to fix that with, I don't know how I could do 32-bit float into my camera because my camera doesn't support it. And handling that many files separately, I don't think would work well. So yeah. We did not get a chance to play against the other LAN crew, unfortunately, because this one was kind of unorganized. There was a lot more chill hangout, like chill, unscheduled gaming together time. And we wanted to do at least TFT. So next LAN crew battles, hopefully, during the next one that's coming up in October, we set aside time to at least do TFT. Because that's a game that both groups can agree to, that like they want to play and kind of compete against each other. Because for the other games, like they want to play the finals, we want to play Omega Strikers, and there's the skill gap between them. It's not a good fit, if that makes sense. Like, Omega Strikers is a good fit because our group has only played that game for like 10 hours, so they could easily catch up. But they literally have hundreds of hours poured into the finals, and have all the unlocks and stuff, which I guess they can just not use the unlocks. But still, they've played it for literal hundreds of hours, so they definitely have the huge advantage there. I would be down to do either Valorant or CS2 because I don't think anybody plays that. So I'm trying to get games where both crews are kind of like on equal playing field. Yeah. But even with CS2, I'm sure their group people have played CS2 before. In our group, we also have people who have played CS2, but I don't think anyone actively plays it. So yeah. Have you ever played? I have tried to install 5M before and play on like some custom servers. It was just kind of a pain to use. I don't know how that all works with the new enhanced edition, and if you want to play non-5M, like switching between the two, how easy it is. But I don't have much experience with 5M. No, Marvel Rivals, I think they have more hours than us. I'm just not interested in hero shooters, unfortunately. And when we played Overwatch against them, which I think the skills transfer over, they have way more Overwatch experience. They creamed us. Like, they killed us. So I think automatically going into Marvel Rivals, that's pretty much what's going to happen. So I don't think it'll be like kind of like competitive. Like they're just better at shooters for the most part, I would say. Like, Chris says, dang, yeah, getting 32-bit float going, it would be perfect because I'm always screaming and yelling at LAN, so I clip so much. But you need a separate mic mixer that records separately, but maybe injects time codes. Let's see. I'll tell you how many individual video files I'm dealing with, Chris. LAN party stories, camera. So there is a total of only 290. But imagine having to insert 290 audio files to sync with video clips for like a 20-hour editing or 20 hours worth of footage. That just sounds like a nightmare. I heard the Panasonic, what is it? The GH, one of the Panasonic cameras does support 32-bit float. And I'm almost considering switching, or at least getting that as a LAN recording camera. But it's like $2,000, so kind of out of my budget. Have you guys tried Marvel Rivals yet with the LAN? We have not. I've tried Marvel Rivals. The issue with the LAN group is when we play games, it has to be a game that everyone's kind of on board with. I would say shooters and unless it's like Halo playing the stupid mini games or like Grand Theft Auto, like the competitive games, like I would say half the group isn't really interested in because we have like half the group is like casual gamers. So they just don't have fun because they're just getting like killed. It's like trying to have someone who's a beginner at video games play against a skilled person. And even if you try to balance the teams, I can see why it's not fun for the people, right? Who aren't into competitive shooters or have experience playing them. So, did the conference mic help? I actually have not watched the gameplay footage yet. I've checked it out. I think it is better, but it's not like... It's better than using a mic that's not strapped to the center of the room. But it's not as good as like the camera mic, obviously, because it's a conference mic. It's meant to pick up all the surrounding sound, not in a high quality, if that makes sense. I tried to look for 32-bit float conference mics, couldn't find any. But it's usable. Peak has been fun. Yes, I do want to do Peak at the next LAN party with a small group, kind of like how we do Chain Together, which we did have Chain Together this time around. So yeah. Pete Dunn says, "Hey Danny, hope all is well with his family. Hope you're getting sleep. We are getting a little bit more sleep. The girls are sleeping a little bit more, but still, are my eyes? Actually, my eyes aren't that red today. But yeah, the way to even out rivals is to have people randomly select characters. I feel like even if the worst players get the best characters or heroes, and the best players get the worst characters, the good players will still win. That's how much of a skill gap there can be with shooting games. Unfortunately, mouse and keyboard, twitch movement. That's just something that is built over time. It's really hard to just get someone up to speed on that kind of stuff. Like even I suck at Valorant and CS:GO, and I've played my fair share of FPS games, but I played like Call of Duty and Halo and stuff, which are a whole different level compared to like Valorant and CS2. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Did I miss any? Blah, blah, blah. I'm surprised okay, let me see if I could bring that thirst trap thumbnail up actually, because I am logged into my YouTube account for once. Let's see, go to content. Okay, so let me see if it still shows the thumbnail thing. View test report. Okay, here. So here is the test report for the two thumbnails. So if we take a look, these are the two thumbnails that I put. Oh, my head's blocking the butt cheeks. But let me see if I can move myself. Off tiny light. Okay. So let me move myself up here for a second. So here are the two thumbnails because YouTube does allow us to do A/B testing now. And look at how close the results were. The Casey thumbnail had 49.1 and 50.9. That's almost a 2% spread, but surprisingly close considering I would say this is like way more, like, what was the word for it? Not polarizing, but it is way more like, surprising, let's say, if to see this pop up on your YouTube front page timeline. So I guess people love Casey or something, or people don't care about butt cheeks that much. But yeah. Okay, let me see. Where is the... Okay, let me put myself back down. But your whole audience is male. Maybe that's why nobody clicked it more. No. Surprisingly, my whole male audience really likes the shower scenes from the LAN Party Story series. It started off kind of as a running joke, but it's received very positive reception and humorous comments. And yeah, people like that scene. It's definitely got 50% spread, alright. When's the last time you guys played Rocket League? You should try to play the Rumble mode. It has power-ups. It's super fun. We actually haven't played Rocket League in at least a few LANs. I know we fired it up, like, at least within the last few years. But, oh yeah, we did it against the LAN crew battle, too, which they brought in... See, so I'm going to say this. For the LAN crew battles, like, we pulled from our primary LAN people to do Rocket League. They pulled in people that normally don't game with them as much, that were specifically very skilled at Rocket League. Which I'm not going to make excuses because there was no rule against doing that, but I'm just saying we didn't pull someone that was outside the LAN group that typically games with us, and they did that. But I'll give them the win because it was still a somewhat competitive game. Like, it wasn't like completely lopsided. So, yeah. Whole audience is male. Sorry, Cammy, I take that back. The majority, actually, we can take a look at my analytics. Let me look at my analytics for audience. What the spread is. The spread. I keep on saying spread. Gender. Okay, here we go. So we take a look at this. We have almost 3% female viewership, but 97% male. So it is overwhelming majority of a male audience, but that's okay. I appreciate all the female viewers, though. I appreciate all of y'all for watching some random nerd dude make content. Is that what it's called when you bring in someone from the outside? And to be fair, it wasn't someone completely from the outside. It was one of their friends. It was just, I would say, and they had to do it because their core group, I would say the ones that get together almost every night to play games together, their core group they only had one Rocket League player within that group. So that's why they had to pull in extra help. Because otherwise it would be kind of like the shooting games, right? They would have people who have zero experience or almost little to no experience with Rocket League. So, it's fine. I'm just joking. I'm just talking crap when I said they did that and it was cheating. But okay, let's not clickbait this stream. Let's talk about this collab. Which Linus, please, Linus, don't copyright strike me for viewing this on my stream. FYI, Danny, this might be the first time ever I wish I had baby, says star5382. Well, my job is not to convince people to want to have kids, because having kids is a very serious responsibility, and it's definitely something that, even though we were expecting and were trying for kids, once they came, our world was turned, upside down in a good way. But, just everything, basically life is dedicated to the girls for the next 18 years, which that's what we signed up for. But I guess having twins just made it a little bit more difficult on us, because it's that much harder, and we didn't have the experience of any family or friends who also had multiples to kind of get the idea of what we were getting ourselves into. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that now you might be considering or wanting kids, if that's serious. But yeah. Are you really okay? So the whole Linus's faith thing, I think that was a random off the top thing that he just said as he was going down the line. And then he just kind of played on it throughout the rest of the video. There is no reason that I can at least think of, because I'm pretty sure Linus, I know he knew Tech Joyce. He's familiar with her more because, she's a bigger creator and she plays badminton. So he was actually talking to her about the tournaments that they were going to have at his badminton facility and stuff like that. And I'm sure he probably knows Zach way more, because Zach's also a way bigger channel than me and pops up on YouTube no matter what you search. But between me and Tito, aka Macho Nacho, I don't know in terms of his knowledge of us existing prior to this collab, because I'm not sure. They didn't tell us, but I don't think he handpicked us. I think it was the LMG staff and maybe the sponsors like Jawa and stuff. So for me to somehow be the favorite of the video, it was just a completely off the top or off the cuff thing, I think. And then he just played along with it for whatever reason. Okay, so let's watch this.
Source means that you might miss crucial details, but watching 4 videos at once is just so inconvenient. So, hear me out then. How about we smash 4 amazing texts?
Maybe he legit liked you the most? I don't think so, because at that point, it was still the beginning of the video. He had not talked, or he did not know me enough to like me the most. Unless he's attracted to me for some reason, but Okay. This part... I thought this was going to happen, and it ended up happening, because as they were recording this, Linus was standing relatively close to me, talking all this. So I had a feeling I was just awkwardly standing in the background while he was talking. So I was trying not to make a stupid face. Oh, it is coming through my mic? Okay. How do I don't know how I can fix that, because if I would have to mute and... Okay. Yeah, I would have to mute and unmute every single time. Chris, do you have a quick fix for this? Because every time I mute and unmute my mic, I sometimes forget to do it and I start talking. Should I just let it play through? Here, let me turn up the volume and we'll just let it play through. Let me see how that sounds. Let me know how that sounds.
Hell, we've sourced this pile of secondhand parts that we're gonna price according to what's typical on marketplaces like Facebook, eBay, and Java, the online marketplace for new and used PC stuff.
It's fine, but still a tad quiet. Yeah. I can just turn up. What if I turn up the volume a lot?
Who sponsored this video, along with Sonic, who also pitched in to help us bring together our 4 amazing contestants. Let's meet them.
I'm Danny from Nerd on a Budget, and I make content about PC builds, steel hunting, and I wish we did multiple takes. You hear me like kind of stutter, or not stutter, but like hesitate there. Am I being too tough on myself? I don't know, man. This was in front of a big audience, and I was hoping they would like maybe cut away. There are tricks you can do in editing, right? Where if you have awkward pauses, you can cut it, but to not make it a jump cut, you overlay some B-roll or something. So I was hoping they would pull footage from my channel or something and like get rid of all the awkward silent or pauses and stutters that I had. 100%, but I feel like we all hate hearing ourselves and second guess everything. That is true. But if you guys say it was fine, then sure. I think I saw one comment that somebody was annoyed with my voice and they said they thought I didn't speak English as a first language. I'll see if I can find it. But I saw one comment that was like kind of a hate comment. But yeah, I was like, well, you know, I was kind of nervous. So that's why I kind of hesitated and stuttered a bit. I'm Danny from Nerd on a Budget, and I make content about PC builds, steel hunting, and sometimes LAN parties.
My name is Tito. I have the YouTube channel Macho Nacho Productions.
Shout out to Tito. I love this guy. So nice.
Hi, I'm Joyce from Tech Joyce.
Joyce is pretty chill too. She's pretty cool.
Car content.
Hi, I'm Zach.
And Zach, we all know Zach.
I make a
long-time friend of the channel.
Kind of similar to what we're gonna do today.
Where did you get those in?
For those that don't know, it's Zach's Tech Turf, where Turf stands for Tutorials, Unboxings, Reviews, and Fun. But I don't say that on camera.
I learned from this video that that's what TURF was an acronym for. I'm not sure if I've never had in all my time like talking with Zach ever over the years. That has never come up, and I don't recall it coming up on his channel, or if it did, I did not see it. So I learned something about, I mean, I've been collaborating and friends with Zach since like 2017, so like 7, 8 years now, and even I learned something that day or from this video.
So,
It'd be a lot to say each time.
yeah.
What do you think is going to give you your edge today?
I think maybe my lack of knowledge of PCs, maybe.
How do you think
We'll
that's
see.
going to give you an edge?
I have no idea.
Most of my content revolves around looking for used deals, so this was right up my alley, but You see, they did the cut there. When they said right up my alley, they did the zoom cut. So yeah, I know, I'm being overly critical, but that's just how it is. Maximize the performance anytime I do a PC build, so I have a lot of practice with that, I'd say.
Aesthetics, for sure.
Aesthetics.
Yeah. You know, there's one
Not
competitor
surprising.
that I'm worried about that's going to beat me in terms of price to performance. It's Danny. Hopefully there's points given out on the aesthetic.
So, to preface this, me and Zach actually had dinner the night before, because we got into town the Thursday and we shot on the Friday. But I drove up because I live in Seattle and Vancouver's like a 2.5 hour drive away. So it didn't make sense for me to fly in, but I still stayed at the hotel that they had everybody at. And me and Zach actually grabbed dinner that night, and we were kind of talking about like the competition. And then I made the prediction. I was like, Zach, you're going to pull out some cable extensions, huh? And he didn't say anything because he wanted to keep it a surprise. But when I saw the video and he pulled it out, I was like, called it.
Round, which that's what I'm going for.
I think I'm the youngest out of all the contestants, so my hands will be faster, and I'll probably think a little faster than them. So hopefully my age will give me a bit of an edge.
What is the CPU that you picked?
I picked the Ryzen 5 7600. Initially, I went after this Ryzen 5 9600X. This part's kind of interesting. I offered $10 less because they had to submit clips. It ended up working out though. So they kind of blended it in, which is why obviously the audio changed. Which worked out to be a way better deal. With the money saved, I then set my sights on obviously, yeah. That's like a different shot of me now. The best card I could find was this RX 6950 XT.
It was a AMD Ryzen 7900X. I mostly made all my decisions based
Same
off
here. Yep.
price
So I
because
cut into
really
the
don't know
audio.
too much about PC building.
I picked the Ryzen 5 7600X. It was the best deal that I could find on Java at that specific moment in time.
I actually found this RX 7800 XT for $450, and that's actually a really good price.
I picked the Ryzen 5 7600 X3D. Yeah, that one was just a really good deal. I decided to go with an NVIDIA graphics card because I'm hoping for the benchmarking it involves ray tracing. Please, Linus.
I was hoping it did not have ray tracing because I obviously picked an AMD graphics card, and the 3080 would beat the 6950 XT in ray tracing benchmarks.
Whether you're buying parts, selling your gear, or
All right, so here's a sponsor.
Stockpile of parts, but now it's time to pick the rest of your computer. We've got a large stockpile.
So you guys see, I'll explain my choice. So this video cuts out basically the rest of the part selection, which makes sense, right? The video would be like 2 hours long if they included everything. But I ended up picking this NZXT H5. Is this the H510 or H5? I forget. But the main reason I chose it was because of the parts that were listed here, it was the best looking for the price. Like this 131, no way, way too expensive. $70, kind of too expensive given I already spent too much of my budget on the graphics card. This one right here was kind of ugly, even though it was for $35, and I think it has worse cooling than the NZXT one. So I chose the NZXT case because at $40, I knew it would fit my graphics card. Size wouldn't be an issue. They did allow us to pick parts that weren't a part of this table, but they also were kind of saying like, you know, just be mindful about it. Don't like take forever because we have to shoot all this in one day. There's 4 contestants. You have to pick, 7 or 8 components. So I went first, and from what I could see, I was like, let's just pick this, get it out of the way. It's a good price. I don't have to go to the back and waste time looking for, because Zach went to the back to pick a specific case, and because they were all brand new, it ended up costing him like $90 or something. So that was my choice for the case.
If there's something else that
what was the case on the far right? Let me see. Oops, sorry.
Computer. We've got a
oh gosh, I'm not sure if the 6950 XT would have fit there. That's the Q300L, I believe, which I think it's going for 40. I can't see on this, but I would say as I've owned this case, I've used a personal build in this case. This is not a good case that I would recommend in this day and age. It has a single chamber, so no separate chamber for the power supply and cable management. It has an acrylic side panel if this is the older version, which scratches and scuffs like crazy, and you can't get rid of that once it's on there compared to tempered glass. The cooling isn't the best. It's very because it doesn't have separate chambers and a legit rear panel, you can't route cables that well. Wouldn't recommend unless you're in a super tight pinch on a budget, because brand new these go for like $40. Grayman Media says, so did you? Yes, I drove up to they're in like Langley, Surrey area. So yeah, I drove up to there from Seattle. I'd pick the cheapest case possible. That's what I was going for without picking the absolute crappiest case, if that makes sense. There were cheaper cases than this, obviously, because there's one for $35 here, and then this thing was, I'm pretty sure, under $40. But I wanted to pick the one that was the cheapest without being completely garbage. Yeah.
large stockpile of parts, but if there's something else that tickles your fancy, Games Master David will see what he can do and try to get you a fair price. You are allowed to go over your $1,000 budget. However, you're going to be evaluated based on your performance in 3 demanding games, and for every $10 you go over, it will cost you 1% of your total score.
So I wanted to talk about this point
And for every
because
$10 you go over,
I think
it will cost you 1%.
if I were to make the rules, and we have made rules for build competitions because we've done these collaborations, like me, Zach, and the rest of the tech fam, and the other content creators like Ozzy, Scatterbolt, and stuff. So I would say, I think the $10 over, every $10 over being only 1% was too lenient. If, I don't know, maybe it's because I care about sticking to your budget as much as you can, because that's like my whole channel and what I do in my videos and stuff. But the reason I say this is because 1% of the build price we were targeting was $10. So that's a linear scaling. And we know in some situations, spending, let's say spending an extra $50, that would only be a 5% penalty. But there are some cases, especially in the $1,000 PC build category, where you're spending anywhere from $300 to $500 on a graphics card. Spending an extra $50 can bump you up performance that is better than 5%. So in that case, spending more over is beneficial to you. And in my opinion, going over budget should never be able to benefit, and it should be a harsher punishment, if that makes sense. But we didn't know these rules ahead of time, and it's fine because they want to keep these videos kind of fun and a surprise, and like they want to like throw curveballs at you and stuff. So not being disclosed about this, we had to pick our graphics card and GPU just based on that and kind of go in somewhat blind. But once I heard this, I still wanted to stick to see if I could, do the challenge of staying within $1,000. But if I could change it, I would have just picked up a $15 cheap air cooler that they had on the table, because that would have brought my temperatures down and only penalized me 1.5%, right? So the reason I went with the stock cooler was to stay within budget. Even knowing the 1% penalty, I still wanted to see if I could, stick to the challenge.
Of your total score. So be frugal. To keep things balanced, we're going to be doing a snake draft starting with Danny, which was decided by random chance off camera, and also because, don't tell the others, but we just plain like him better. Go.
Okay. Can I get the Game Master's help?
Yeah, see, so you saw Tito pick the $22 case.
I just need color.
And then so Zach made use of the, going to the back to pick, and I did that too. I did it for RAM, but they don't show it in the video.
I only have like $50 left, so I'm gonna go really cheap.
We are adding aesthetics to the rubric, correct?
I don't think so.
It's the entire strategy.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Someone might actually do it. I didn't think it was going to be possible.
I mean, I wouldn't be nerd on a budget. So I had my spreadsheet in hand. So as I picked parts,
Question for you. What are we doing about power supplies?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked in a totally unscripted way. Everyone is getting. Oh my God, David. Okay, you're good. You're good. A focus.
So that was another thing too, Demon Mitt. We did not know the price of the power supply going in. We didn't know the price of any of the other components. $130 power supply for a $1,000 build, I would say, is a little bit out of balance. There are plenty of power supplies you can pick up for like $70 to $80 that work perfectly fine for a budget like this. So everyone got equally screwed over with the expensive power supply. But I mean, we all came in, like, no one came in more than $100 over budget, and I was able to stay within budget, sacrificing on the cooler a bit. So while it was a pretty big curveball, like, we were able to manage it, I guess. But yeah, I would say the power supply was on the more expensive side than you would normally do.
GX 850 from our sponsor, Seasonic. It's a member of their multi-award-winning platform with proven reliability.
Oh yeah, and somebody was asking, did I get a screwdriver? Yeah, he gave us all screwdrivers too. He gave us parting gifts, which, by the way, I'm going to self-plug myself real quick. On Instagram, if you guys aren't following me on TikTok and Instagram, that would be awesome if you guys do. But I did post, so here's a picture that I waited to post because it has the results of the competition, and I wanted to wait till the video was out for a few days before posting it to not spoil it. But Linus also gave us like care packages, but during the filming and stuff like that, because we had downtime and stuff, we were talking, and just in conversation, it came up. We were talking about, I think, Linus's kids, and then I happened to mention that I just had twins, and Linus was like, "Oh, we need to get you, you know, the ABCs of gaming as well as the building blocks that they have, which is part of their merch." And this was totally like off the cuff, non-scripted. This wasn't even, I don't think it was recorded because, you know, we were having lunch. It was like lunch break or something. So he made sure that when putting together the care package, mine and Zach's, because Zach has kids too. Zach got the book. His kids are too old for the blocks. But Linus was super cool, and he was like, "Oh yeah, let me make sure the care packages has this for your girls." So we've been reading them this book every single day, and the blocks are meant for 18 months, so they've got a ways to go. Maybe they could be on the fast track. But yeah, I would say, like, you know, Linus didn't have to do that. This wasn't going to ever be published or recorded on a video or anything like that. I just want to give him huge props, considering people are always trying to tear him down and like expose him and stuff like that. But like off camera, he was just a super chill dude. Like, he walked from the other building back to, because we had to go between buildings. He could have driven or had someone drive him, but like he walked with us, you know, on a sunny day and just talked with us going between the buildings and stuff. So just shout out to him, and I really appreciate that. So.
Performance. They're ATX 3.
And not sponsored. Linus did not tell me to post pictures or talk about this. I'm doing it on my own accord. I swear to God, I put that on everything.
One and PCIe for sync test.
Okay, so that's the power supply.
Let's build these PCs. Before we do that, though, where did they land in terms of pricing?
Danny, $9.99.
Wow. Okay.
Nerd on a budget. Joyce, $10.34. Oh, wait. $10.40. Zach, $10.41. And Tito, $10.53. Everyone did pretty darn good.
That's
a lot better than I expected.
Really close. Wow, nice case. Does it have a side panel?
It does not. But that's so I could fit the cooler.
Wicked smart. How are you feeling about your choices?
I think I went a little bit over budget, but I'm still very...
I will say, did you guys notice the SSDs that everyone chose? Even though my build wasn't the prettiest, because Zach definitely takes the crown for that, I think people in the comments that watch this video, they missed the SSDs, because it is shown on the screen pretty quickly.
confident because I think my CPU is the best out of all four of them.
Very nice. Any regrets?
I think the GPU.
Do you regret just standing here and chit-chatting while the timer's running?
Oh, what? I'm supposed to get started now?
Yeah, what are you waiting for? How about you, Danny? Any regrets?
I'm pretty happy with it. I think okay. I had a 2 terabyte SSD in there. To me, that, even though it doesn't affect performance, it was a Gen 3 drive, but Gen 3, Gen 4, load times, you know, boot times, game load times and stuff, it's pretty much the same. It's only when you're doing like large file transfers that you need 2 Gen 4 drives, because if you have a Gen 4 drive transfer to a Gen 3 drive, you're still bottlenecked by the Gen 3 drive speeds, if that makes sense. But I did have a 2 terabyte drive in there, which even though it doesn't count towards performance, and even though it doesn't look pretty aesthetics-wise, I think that's like some brownie points that aren't worth anything, right? Like having double the capacity than the standard 1 terabyte. Got a pretty beefy graphics card and a decent CPU to pair with it. This is all in US. I think it's because the majority of their audience is US based viewers. They did it. It was all US based pricing. Plus Jawa, where we had to get the CPU and GPU from, is US based. So it's just some of the other parts might be jank, but that's just when you go use sometimes, you know.
We have a red alert here, David. There's no IO shield in here.
Oh my god, given how much of our grading is going to be aesthetics, that's going to really hold you back.
100% what I was thinking. Thank you.
Here's my
Zach just assumed apparently that there was an IO shield
on your aesthetics score.
This part's pretty funny.
Take 3x.
4x, final offer.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
How are things going over here? Any regrets on your build?
Maybe the case?
Like, is this an intentional...
You could have picked a slightly faster RAM kit instead of 2 terabyte. I could have, but honestly, for gaming, plus knowing, I knew I had a lead with the 6950 XT being the most powerful graphics card, which when we get to the benchmarks, I'll talk about, but I figured that the difference in RAM speeds was going to be pretty negligible on the results, which for most of the benchmarks was. The Cyberpunk results I want to talk about because those results were a little bit strange to me, and I want to see if anyone can explain why it worked out the way it did.
That was kind of a late-breaking decision where I'm just going to kind of go with a really messy setup, and that's going to be part of the vibe.
Ooh, I like it. You have only 1 stick of RAM.
I do. Yeah,
Better than none.
So Tito is very much a retro console related channel, and he admitted he's not as experienced with PC building, but I think he did fine for the video.
I did not want to waste money on anything. Performance impacting.
So you'd rather that whoever ends up with this system, which by the way people are going to end up with,
Yes.
have a
they will
crappy
suffer.
SSD and lose their data down the road.
Correct.
Wait, what was wrong? I missed that. What was wrong with Zach's
Ends
SSD?
up with this.
Money on anything.
I don't like your SSD though.
Well, that was strategic. I did not want to waste money on anything. Performance impacting.
So you'd rather that whoever ends up with this system, which by the way people are going to end up with,
Yes.
have a
they will
crappy
suffer.
SSD.
What was wrong with his SSD? Let me go back to it. He said and lose
Hey.
data. Was it like a bad? It's just a brand.
Red alert
Yeah,
here,
see,
David.
that's the
There's no IO shield.
thing that gets cut out in these
Jank, but
videos.
That's just, oh my God.
Okay, let me see. Oh, it's a no-name SSD. Oh, and it was a 512 gigabyte one, which again, based on the rules, there was no rules with how much storage you needed, you know, because we only did like 3 benchmarks. So that could be a way to like strategize to save money going with the 512. I don't know. I feel like in a normal build video, people will like criticize using a 512 in a $1,000 build, but I think the viewers have a hard time separating like entertaining video competition from like what you would realistically build. I think if we all like, I somewhat recently released a $1,000 build video. Zach has recently released a $1,000 build video. This is not exactly how we like recommend people build the PCs. It is how we built it for the sake of a competition. So that's just something I feel like a lot of people like it goes over their head and they're super like know-it-all and like you should do this, you should do that, you know? Like, you guys, it's an entertaining video with some tech in it.
And how much of our great deal?
Okay.
How are things going over here? Any regrets on your build?
Maybe the case.
Like, is this an intentional vibe?
That was kind of a late-breaking decision where I'm just going to kind of go with a really messy setup, and that's going to be part of the vibe.
Ooh, I like it. You have only 1 stick of RAM.
I just
Okay, so we got
But I'll just let him cook.
Or like let him be cooked. I don't like your SSD though.
Well, that was strategic. I did not want to waste money on anything. Performance impacting.
Wait, did this just go back?
So you'd rather that whoever
Why does
ends
it go
up with
back?
their data down. My tech ick was people who spend a bunch of money on a fancy cooler when they haven't already min-maxed the rest of their hardware.
That's true.
Am I distracting you?
A little bit, but it's okay. It's missing one standoff, the bottom right one.
Nerd on a budget with attention to detail. Keep an eye on this one. There's a reason he's our favorite. I didn't mean what I said. You're doing great too.
Thank you. Wait, I've never done this before. I've only built like 6, 7 PCs.
I'm deciding if I...
Do you guys know about the whole 6-7 thing? I just learned about that in the comment section. 13th Warrior, thank you for the $5 super chat. Danny, it was a great video, and it's funny how much they kept saying how they like you over everyone else. Yeah, I was hoping people didn't take that to heart and thought it was actual favoritism, because there was no real favoritism. It was just a random running joke. Kind of like the aesthetics multiplier with Zach. Like, for each person, Linus had kind of maybe I was so uninteresting that was the only joke he could come up with. Because with Zach, there was the aesthetics multiplier joke. That was the running joke that they kept on playing off of. And the ZTT acronym. They talked about that multiple times. And then for Tito, his joke was that he was just there, like, because I guess his results were underwhelming or whatever. And then Joyce was just kind of like unhinged craziness. So I don't know, maybe they couldn't come up, or he couldn't come up with anything off the top, and that's just what he went with. I never noticed the 6-7 meme. Yeah, for Joyce, I don't know if you will ever watch this, probably not because the stream is tiny, but Tech Joyce was a pleasure to build alongside with. I saw in the comments people were making super rude stuff about her, saying that like, this is why women are like annoying or something, because she was making jokes about being an independent woman and stuff when we were trying to help her out. Like, it was all banter, but people literally took that as a chance to be misogynists, which is kind of annoying. But shout out to Tech Joyce. She was hilarious the whole shoot, and very chill person to talk to, and she's killing it in like content creation.
I should try to give you hints or not, but since we're competing and you wanted a race,
I don't need hints. Don't worry.
You're good.
I know exactly what I'm doing right now. No, that does not seem right. Okay, I'm not gonna ask for help because I feel like that makes me lose automatically.
There's nothing wrong with getting help.
No, I have to do this alone. Okay, I'm definitely the least qualified out of the 3 contestants.
Yeah, so I picked this cooler because, well, it looked really big. So, and I have apparently one of the, I guess, better CPUs out of the lot.
Tito is so
Probably
innocent.
a lot of
I love
cooling
him.
power.
Like,
This is small.
and I
but
love the
it's
video
the
because
same
it
as
showed
the
this
board,
side of
so
it,
that gives
because
me
we were
plenty of
completely
room
separated.
to use
Me
that.
and Joyce were on like a
Reason for my
completely
cooler
separate
is
side
I
of the
was
building.
Definitely thinking about aesthetics. Okay.
Yes, the Riz 400.
The Riz, is that what we're going with? I'm also not above using the CPU cooler manual. Do you ever use these?
Not on this.
It's showing me exactly which hardware to use and whatnot every
I
time
like it.
Yeah, like
I respect it. You know what? I like his style so much that I'm going to increase his aesthetics points multiplier to 5x.
no, we were at 5.
Were we?
Yeah, I think we're up to 7.
I am returned.
Actually, I have thermal paste now.
How do you know what I brought you isn't better?
I want to go with these because this looks fancy.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm being dismissed. I see. I think there's something to the whole passive-aggressive generation. You know, with the whole, like, COVID lockdown and the lack of social skills. It's like they can't
Here's
tell
Linus
things
getting
like they're standing too
awkwardly close
close
to
or
me,
making people
which I was not
uncomfortable.
phased.
How you doing?
Good. I think I'm making good progress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just putting all the motherboard screws in, which is like one of the more time-consuming
Yeah.
parts.
I even leaned my head into him. You guys
Um,
noticed
I
that?
think I'm good with that now.
I should have given him a kiss on the
Unflappable.
cheek. How would he have reacted to that?
You can't say that.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
Usually it turns out fine, but I think I got a little nervous because he's right beside me.
I don't want to put any pressure on you guys, but you are way behind end. Am I helping with the pressure?
No.
Linus, I would like to run something by you here.
This is where he pulls out the cable extensions.
Very top of the
Oh, wait,
line.
no. Oh, yeah.
There's one problem for my build with it. It's only black cables. I brought some cable extensions. I got red, but I'm gonna plug these into these.
How much
I'm
do
a-
these cost?
$0.
Should I trust him? I'm gonna believe him that these were $0. And for being such an amazing deal hunter, I'm gonna reward him by increasing his aesthetics multiplier to 6x.
So if let's just say aesthetics was taken into account, then we would have had to. How much do those cables usually go for? Like the red, nice 16 AWG ones. Probably like 20 if you get them on sale, like Prime Day. But otherwise, like 25, right? Zach probably buys them in bulk, so he might get a discount. But you can't apply that to a competition. But let's just say, I say 20 to 25 bucks is pretty standard for a quality extension. We would have had to add that to the total, which would have made the penalty a little bit more. But if they gave an aesthetic score, then it would have actually helped them. So that's why Linus was okay with giving it for $0, because it was told at the start of the competition, the rules, that aesthetics was not a part of it.
We were just at 7.
Not at the start of it, but once we were in the warehouse starting to pick parts.
How are you already almost done? What are people doing?
Modern computers, like everything just goes on the motherboard.
Yeah, that's great. I just mean, like, we're gonna have to rely on some of the other folks to do our extras for Floatplane. lmg.gg/floatplane. You get the bonus multiplier.
Whoa.
Bonus
Come on, man.
multiplier.
Come on. We still got inserts to shoot.
I mean, I don't care. It's not my computer.
3, 2, 1. Okay, it's even plugged in.
Well, what we can all agree on is that Zach is not my favorite.
We're all tracking that.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll take that.
Oh, great. Oh, no. Danny, do you think you could beat Linus in a build-off?
I honestly don't know how quickly Linus can build a PC. I usually don't try to speed through PC builds. I just kind of go at a leisurely pace.
If this is your leisurely pace, I think you'd kick my ass. You just need a quality ratcheting screwdriver. Wow, you've made a lot of progress.
So nothing fits, like nothing's long enough to reach the bottom of that.
Yeah, so what you need is... Oh, she
Like a little stand underneath?
You better believe it.
Okay, now I gotta take everything out then. Can I just leave it like this? Cause look, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 screws already, and that's a lot of screws.
That's, that is a lot of screws.
So
not a math
I'm good.
expert.
I'm good here then. I'm making sure I get your approval.
I'm not the judge.
I will say, when Linus came and checked standoffs, I was actually nervous because normally when I do builds, I only put in like 4 screws in case I have to take out the motherboard, in case there's something wrong with it. So when I personally build, I put in 4 motherboards until everything's done. I'm done testing. Then once the build is ready to, go to whoever it's going to or whatever, then I will go and finish everything off. Because putting in the screws only to find out that you accidentally put one of those, you accidentally misaligned one of the ports or something, and there was a thing of metal in it, etc. Like, there's been often times where I've had to move the motherboard to make like cables come through the top or the bottom for the front IO or the power cables. You know what I mean, right? So I usually don't. And since I have like short-term memory and ADHD, when Linus came up to check for my standoffs, I like kind of shit myself because I was like, oh crap, did I like leave some screws off? And he's gonna point that out. But thankfully, I put in all the screws. I didn't want that to be caught on camera, me only putting in like 4 standoff screws, which is what I normally do. And you guys have seen me do that in the streams too.
They're the judge.
Do I have your approval?
You may not be familiar with this concept, but we are not live right now.
Oh, the audience. I thought you meant the cameraman. Okay. Oh, the audience? Oh, he gave a thumbs up, so I think we're good.
Did everybody go Radeon? Wow, it's almost like that's the way to go when you're trying to build on a budget. Speaking of GPUs, all of our contestants picked up their GPUs on Java. Java makes it
I
easy
assume
to
test
list
boot. Yep,
and sell
the
and
test
rent
boot.
or
We
price
actually
with buyer and
there's.
seller
I mean, I didn't sign anything, and I don't think it's bad to say it, but we did have problems because they had to pre-install Windows to save time. Right, we had a limited time to shoot in one day. And we had 4 PCs and stuff, right? So they prepared drives for us. But sometimes when you move drives from like one system to another, you get issues. And that actually came up. So they had to re-image, I think 2 or 3 of the drives, which all of that might be in the extras. But yeah, so that did actually happen.
protection, lower fees, and a community that's actively searching for gaming PCs. And this is all without getting hit with, "Is this still available?" messages 1,000 frickin' times.
The only thing I don't love about it is this rear fan. That is specifically why I purchased 3 fans for the competition, to make sure that they're all black.
The aesthetics is the last thing on my checklist here. I'm just trying to figure out the why.
You notice Tito's, he did the down to upwards airflow. He mounted the, which I'm trying to see in this case if that makes sense, because there's a rear like ventilation as opposed to front to back. But either way, he mounted it up and
I
down
do know that they
orientation.
were talking at some point about selling these on Java. If we get points for that, then an aesthetic build could potentially help me out. So
That
it
is
might,
true.
it might actually matter at
Oh
some
my
point.
gosh.
We have our beautiful Seasonic power supply here. I was sure to put the fan facing downward.
So I chose a 3080 because I was looking on the website and all the 4070s were like $600. So I went one generation behind, and this one is like basically the same performance for like $100 cheaper. Wait, these are not like screwed in. Do I have to rip them out? Do I need help again?
Those are breakaways. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Cut that part out when you said that. Oh, these are breakaways. So basically, I don't have to unscrew anything.
I'm wondering if I should help Joyce with something right now.
No,
Okay. She doesn't
No.
want the help.
I'm independent and smart. How many PCs have you built?
Over 100 and under 1,000. So
That's
somewhere between there.
insane. That's insane.
I honestly don't know how many PCs I built. I think of the group, Zach has built the most because he has a PC selling business. But all my PC builds are mostly over the years that I do for like friends and family or for the channel. And I've been building computers since like 2009-ish was when I did my first very own computer in college. And then from that point out, I started helping friends and family build their computers. And then once I started the YouTube channel, I did even more builds. So, since 2009, 16 years, it's safe to say I've built over at least 100, but beyond that, I don't know the exact count off the top of my head. But I definitely know it's probably not even over 500. I'm pretty sure Zach is well above 500 though, because yeah, he churns out builds like a madman.
Over 100? It's like
You
10
look
a
so
year.
young though, because your skin's really good.
Why did you use the lower slot on your
What?
on your?
She doesn't want help. She doesn't want help.
Oh
She
my
doesn't want
god, I
help.
didn't even realize.
She said she didn't want help.
Bro, this whole video is just embarrassing. Like,
No,
people are gonna
no,
be
no,
like,
no.
wow, you guys noticed and didn't tell me?
I
That's
said-
fucked up.
Oh,
That's fucked up.
Okay.
Especially you. You probably knew the whole time.
Yeah, come on, Glenn.
First try. Professional.
We're trying to find something to close the side panel with.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, we have one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good work.
Wow.
Two.
Celebrating? Was that a boot?
Are they done?
That's really crooked.
Really?
Wow.
Thanks.
That's a computer.
Yeah, I did it all first try, and I didn't get any help.
I don't think your motherboard is all the way down.
No, don't show that. Wait, just to set the record straight, I've never claimed to be a PC.
That's why you don't screw in all how many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish motherboard screws until you give it a one over.
Be professional.
Why didn't you screw them in all the way?
I thought I did.
Oh no.
Damn it. Okay, wait, cut all of this out. Give me the screwdriver. Wait, guys. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's trying to touch my build.
So see, all I did was turn it a few more rotations and you can see now the motherboard doesn't shift around like that.
Right.
Do you need me to check anything else?
No.
Chris, so Zuck seems to be a fan of you. Can you please tell him his take on Linus is a little bit weird? Where is it at? Zuck says, I saw the comment earlier. Where'd it go? Linus Tech Tip sucks, man. This is not a flex. He's got one of those generic, let's hate on Linus takes, even though Linus in this video is specifically helping out other content creators by showcasing them. And he was just a chill dude. Like, I know he has his shortcomings for the stuff that happened 2 years ago, but like, there's plenty to critique him about. Stuff like this, I don't think is valid.
You sure?
Yes. You can. Thank you.
Now I feel like I need to check
Oh.
everyone's homework.
Your audio is much louder than the video. Yeah, sorry. It's because I'm actually playing video through a speaker, so I'll try to talk quieter and then sit closer for the audio. It's because it echoes when I play it through the desktop.
Can I just...
Yeah, you can take a look at it.
Oh yeah, look at that. All of the screws are in even. Oh wow, I got nice little cable management in here and everything. Quality. Now, it just comes down to performance. What is this situation here?
Oh, is that it? Goes in. Yeah.
Sure?
I just forgot to screw it in all the way, I think.
I found problems
I left
with
it
everyone
loose.
else's build, so it feels unfair if I don't find
So that
something
Linus
here.
could
Feel free,
take a
you'll
look at the
find
back.
something.
Oh, a classic rookie error.
Error?
The I/O shield.
That is not an error. This was not supplied, sir.
I mean, when you buy a secondhand motherboard, that's the first thing you gotta check.
Yeah, I mistakenly trusted the seller.
That's why you gotta shop on Jawa.
Yeah, see, I would never put a motherboard without an I/O shield into my inventory, but that's what you guys did.
See, that's kind of an error, but this is actually an error.
Just don't make it worse, man.
I'm helping.
Okay.
Let's see, I fixed it.
Thank you for the tech tip.
Yeah, that's my turf.
I'm also going to pretend that I don't have to push down hard on this to keep the cable bulge down. Here's how we're looking.
This is my GPU, and the reason I chose it was the most expensive one I could afford within my budget.
Pencils down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So we did it like the cooking shows. Obviously, I think we all finished our builds in time, but you know,
done.
they tell you, all right,
Moment of truth.
pretend like you just finished building it.
There we go.
Also, my build, I don't think looks that aesthetically bad for the people who like a simpler build. So they didn't give us a chance to modify really our like RGB because we were on a time crunch again. You know, we got 4 different builders, 4 PCs, benchmarks, shooting in one day. This was on a Friday. Linus had WAN show to record, and we pretty much went late on WAN show actually. WAN show was late that day, I'm pretty sure. But if I was able to set my RGB on the RAM sticks to just pure white and the graphics card to white, I think it would have looked pretty clean. Obviously, Zach's has like the nice red highlighted aesthetics. And he had a new case, so that looks better. But I think mine aesthetically, for the people who want a more simple, non-flashy look, could have looked good if we had a chance to mess with the RGB.
Okay, it's even plugged in. What? Damn, you guys set me off.
Yeah, that's plugged in.
Okay, cut off. Take out the first cut. Just remove it all. Delete all the footage.
Oh. Hopefully I did the I/O right. Oh, okay. Got an LED.
Oh, right out of the gate, I gotta say, immediately I want to give you bonus points for leaving the $22 sticker on your case.
As you can see, aesthetics was maybe kind of lower on the priority list.
Yeah, and even cooling. You got like half of your fans in here.
That's right.
One of them's not spinning. I didn't actually catch your specs. I was so distracted by how ugly it is.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like gonna be a sleeper underdog.
That's what I'm hoping.
Victor.
It was the first computer to work.
Of course, no one cared.
Yeah, my computer was one that had drive issues. I think Joyce's, yeah, all of ours did. So yeah, hit that. Yeah, that's what the comment was. Born Joker asks, would you do builds for people, and if so, would you live stream it? Like, people have asked me this over the years, and the difficult thing is, it doesn't really make sense for me to do builds for people, because there's the whole liability aspect of it in case anything goes wrong. I do not have the manpower or people power to do customer support. And if you're going to buy a build from me, you're probably going to expect, like, if something goes wrong because I assembled it, I will have to service it. And I just don't have that kind of time, unfortunately. So unless I put some kind of disclaimer like, hey, I'm going to build it, I'm going to test it, I'll show it on stream that it works, but it's up to you after that if something goes wrong. Plus, there's the chances of it getting damaged in shipping. Plus the cost of shipping, like, people would have to pay or give me money ahead of time so I could buy the parts. Then I will build it, and then I have to pack it up and ship it out, which is gonna, not even taking into account, like, if I were to charge for my time and labor, I probably wouldn't because I'm doing it for content on the stream. Just the cost of shipping and insurance for something that size and the packaging materials will make the upcharge at least $100. So like, Zach has a business and employees that handles doing builds. Plus, he also charges like anywhere from, I don't know, like 200, 300, 400, 500 even on some builds for labor and customer support. I don't have something like that set up. So unless you're like local to me and then we could just hand it off, maybe I'll open up building for people who are local to my area. But for like the whole country, I don't think that just works out. Especially with how busy I am now with the twins. I just can't deal with headaches of, if something goes wrong, I'm the person to blame for your PC, having issues. So that's the answer to that. But maybe in the future, we'll see. I'm located in Seattle, Washington, or near Seattle. I'm like 20 minutes north of it.
Here's what the tower looks like. If the monitor looks great, ooh, that's already a good sign. And most impressively, this isn't even running at low settings. This is 1440p ultra no ray tracing. It's actually Zach's machine that's making all the noises bothering me. It's gonna be hard to beat.
And to be fair, we didn't get a chance to tune the fans, right? We just went in with default fan curves. Zach probably could have tuned the fans to make it like quieter or like balanced temperatures and acoustics.
Let's take a quick test drive, shall we? Whoa, this is bad news for Tito, because even though there's no points for aesthetics, there are points for the game looking better. If only Zach had tuned it. Oh! No!
What'd you press?
I pressed the sabotage Zach button for stealing the similar abbreviations to my channel. Next up is the one, the only Tech Joyce, who surely will blame her brother for whatever problems we find with her machine.
I'm scared. You're gonna say something crazy.
Something crazy like, hey, you should probably put all the screws in.
That was not my fault. The screwdriver you gave me was faulty.
Oh.
Go ahead, show me.
Well, I threw it out. No, I threw it out because it was faulty.
All right, well, why don't we take a...
Joyce performs very well, like, in terms of being in an environment like this. I would say I was definitely nervous because as confident as I am, like, on my own stream or in my own videos, in my own house, when I control the content, being a part of someone else's content, not only that, but basically the biggest PC hardware or PC, you know, related channel in the world, it definitely, you know, is pretty nerve wracking. But I feel like all her responses were very witty and like funny. And yeah, she has just way more Riz than I do. Is that what the kids say, Riz?
Look at your computer and see if anything else is faulty.
You're gonna be blown away.
Your side panel's upside down. The AMD logo on your cooler's upside down too. What's
Yeah,
up
she
with
got that aura. She aura farming.
Play the game and you'll see.
I mean, all you have to do is beat a low-performing PC with no side panel and one that crashes.
Can you commentate on this area right here?
Yeah, this area right here is looking pretty damn good. Not gonna lie. It says like 75 FPS and you're 1% low. It's hard to believe. Now that we're in here, it's even worse. It kind of smells. It smells like burning. We got one exhaust fan, no intakes. I really don't know how long this is gonna last. Tech Choice, builder of temporary computers. Which brings us finally to this. You know what? I can't find that much to criticize.
Heck yeah.
It's a little on the louder side, but like, is that...
And I will say, I swear there's something up with the monitoring software. For a Ryzen 7600 with the stock cooler, it should not have been running as loud as it was, especially on a 1440p title. But again, like, this was supposed to be like a fun competition. So it's not like we're going to sit there and be like, no, I disagree with the results or anything like that. But now that I'm looking back at it, the temperature was like oddly high. Like, I've used plenty of stock coolers before, and there was sufficient fans and stuff to be giving fresh air to it. So I'm curious what that was about.
Really that big of a problem?
Because I think it was running at like
Even if
90s in
performance isn't
Cyberpunk.
the best, right? Like, look at this shirt. Look how he wears that. I like these glasses too. Just, you know? Of course, it's all going to come down to performance, which, once again, wow, really?
Yes,
good.
it was reading
I wanna take a moment
94C.
to recognize that
Like,
for
did I not
$1,000,
mount it properly,
every
or
single one of these systems is delivered.
either I didn't mount it properly or I didn't put enough thermal paste or whatever. But the issue is too, once we built it, we couldn't like, you know, play with it and then made sure we had all of our I's dotted and T's crossed. So if you made a mistake, that's just what you went into it with. So yeah, but 94 seems surprisingly high. Especially, what was the frame rate? It didn't seem too crazy high.
It's still an extremely demanding game at 1440p ultimate quality. Some are a little more outstanding than the others, and
Look at the light shining on my neck.
I don't want to criticize because you're my favorite. I don't love that your CPU.
Yeah, CPU running at 55%, 94. Something was odd. Because I did test that CPU before going to Canada just to make sure it worked. But I don't know. So with in a different program, I was seeing that there was different CPU temps. But either way, it still ran, and I don't think it was throttling. It was getting close to throttling temperatures, but I don't think it was throttling.
He's running at 95 degrees? What? Ready? 3, 2, 1, benchmark!
Oh my god, I'm absolutely cooked.
Oh, it crashed again.
Who configured this?
Who configured it? I mean, you picked all the parts. We just watched you do it.
Yeah, but you know, the parts were working when I showed up here.
Do you want to just come out and say it?
You can say it.
I can say it?
Yes.
You're a poor sport. In all seriousness, there could be an issue with some of the hardware that we provided to Zach. I was just ribbing him before, so we're going to do a quick reseat of his GPU, and in the meantime, we're grabbing another kit of memory just in case this one's a little bit on
go to the
flaky
results
side.
real
Why is
quick.
this 6 transfers per second? Okay, well, you kind of lucked out. Oh, wow. You just got a performance boost. Whoops. That was not my intention, but I don't have time to go change it again. I just fixed your computer, Mr.
This feels great already, I can tell.
Okay.
Here we go.
Let's see how it goes. Massive upset. In first place for performance in Cyberpunk, Zach with the come-from-behind victory. He went from 0 to 95. In second place for raw performance, we've got Dan.
So he had 95 and I had like 92, 93. So this result, when it happened, surprised me because Zach did get the faster kit of memory, but that shouldn't, like, I I guess that I didn't think that would make as big of a difference compared to the difference in graphics cards we had, because he had a 7800 XT, which is essentially like a percent better than the 6800 XT. So we're looking at the performance difference between 6800 versus 6950 XT, which I thought would have been the primary driver. So I don't know, like, if anyone knows why it would have come in that different, especially since we're not running at like lower, we're running at 1440p ultra setting, or is it high? It was custom, but I forget which exact settings they put. It was just surprising to me that even though it was definitely still a very GPU bottleneck situation, the 6950 XT ended up losing. And even he had a 7600X over a 7600, but it was still surprising to me that it was able to beat it in what I was thinking was a very GPU balanced situation. It was the aesthetic multiplier. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, because Zach ended up going over what, like 4 or 5%, it balanced out, right? But still, the fact that the 6950 XT underperformed compared to the 7800 XT, I thought that was like kind of puzzling. But again, we didn't like run 3 benchmarks and average. We didn't like have time to really assess the results. This was like quick fire. We gotta get this done. He need to get the WAN show, and then it's whatever. It's a fun competition regardless.
Zach?
It was one run only, but even with one, well, yeah, it was one run because even Zach only got one run because of it was crashing before. So even with one run, I can't think of a situation why like there would be that much of an outlier result. You know what I'm saying?
Not so much. Neither did Joyce, for that matter. So
yeah, he did have again
for first place, but
like if you look at there's plenty of people who have benchmarked like 6,000 versus 5,600, 5,200 versus 5,800 with the same graphics card, obviously, and the results are pretty minor. That you would think with how big the graphics card differences are, which I think it's like anywhere from 5 to 10% between the 6950 XT and 7800 XT. I thought that would have washed it out at least, if not make that come out a little bit on top. But
could still end up with a podium finish because, yeah, that's really not that close. But there's still more benchmarking to go. Let's give him a bonus. Let's give him a nice guy bonus. 10 FPS.
Yeah, we just didn't have time to test 3. Like we were, again, time crunch. You can't tell from the video, but by this point in the day, we had been recording from like 10 a.m. This was like probably 4 or 5 p.m.
Back to 5600. I'm going to change it back to 5600 for the rest.
How much lower do you think it's going to be, Linus? I would say 2 FPS.
That could be the difference. I was thinking 2 to 3 FPS combined with your 4% over budget penalty.
Times 11 aesthetic.
11. It's times 11 now.
Your aesthetic bonus is 0 though, so... Because there are no points for aesthetics.
I was not told this.
Never came up. The fact that it's so close is why I really feel that we need to double check. Oh my God. How'd it go up?
Yeah, see, and then it went up. So something was okay. I will say this is not by any fault of like anybody, like Linus, his team, or Zach or anything. Cyberpunk is an odd game. I know for one, Cyberpunk sometimes when you apply settings, it doesn't stick. This is a known issue. Where like you say, oh, let's set it to ultra settings, and then you go in game, and then you check your settings, it doesn't stick. But the fact that he lowered and changed nothing else, he lowered the memory speed, retested it, and the score went up. I understand how, that's why you average and stuff, but the fact that you had an absolute score from that change go up, I think there was just some weird stuff going on. But either way, that was the lower RAM speed, and the score went up.
For our second game, I'm rooting for you. Hold tab, ready, 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, Cyberpunk still has that bug? Yeah, so...
Getting kind of like the Canucks, kind of hard to root for. Whoa, we could have an upset here. The nerd on a budget is on a roll with a score of 145, with Zach's Tech Turf with 130, Joyce coming in at 122, and once again, Tito was there. 93. That's really good. And it is really good. Our budget was limited to $1,000 US. And unlike a game console, which sure could also run Returnal as long as it's a PlayStation, these machines can do anything you could possibly want them to do. Video editing, browsing the internet. The hell else is it that people do with computers these days? Now it's time for the big shocker finish. Because see, I was piling on my pal Tito before, but
So this last one was a
has the
CPU
best
specific
performing
benchmark.
CPU out of the bunch. And this is interesting. Our last benchmark, kind of CPU.
Well,
dependent.
not CPU
Everyone
specific,
go ahead
because
and
that would be
check it.
Cinebench.
Yeah.
If it was Cinebench, Tito would have won.
Yeah, wet fingers crossed. It's already less than
Oh, God.
But
While we wait for
the
this
issue
last
is,
benchmark to
even
run, I wanna
CPU
get everyone
bound
to sign the
games
machine
are still
because
going to
if
be,
you guys were paying attention
unless
earlier,
you're
you will
literally
notice
playing like
all of
a
these
game
are
from
gonna
10
be
years
for
ago,
sale from Java.tv.
they'll likely
Choose
still
wisely.
rely on the
Now
graphics
for
card.
The results coming in first. Nerd on a budget. Unfortunately,
324.
Joyce's X3D chip just didn't cut the.
This is the one thing that I see in like on Reddit and everything. People are so obsessed with spending extra money on X3D chips. That doesn't do anything if your graphics card is like mid or mid-range, you know? Like the price difference between a 7800 X3D versus say like a 7700 or 7600 or 7600X, like 150 bucks. Wait, let me see. No, it's closer to like probably $150 to $200, right? If you threw that at your graphics card, you're gonna get better performance. Unless you're like some esports player who needs 400 FPS with high 1% lows. For the most part, and the 7600 X3D specifically is pretty expensive for what it is. It is cheaper than the 7800 X3D, but it is still like 300 bucks, I think, at Micro Center. So I think people, because of how good the X3D chips are, people think they need it, but it doesn't always make sense unless you've already maxed out, like, or near maxed out your graphics card.
Mustard here. Zach is in the 300 FPS range as well. Tito was there. Even a 10 FPS bonus wasn't enough, man. I tried. I really tried. And now it's time for me and David to try and do math.
Aesthetic score equals 0
Yeah.
times 11. There you go. Yep, that's added.
And did you give Tito his 10 extra bonus FPS on everything? We have come up with the final scores. In fourth place and looking very fine and kind doing it is Tito with a score of 228
Out of a possible 300.
out of a possible 300.
That's good. That's good.
That is really good. After correcting for a slight budgeting overshoot, Joyce comes in third with 259 points out of a possible 300. And I think it is actually worth noting here just how close our three podium finishers were. Which is to say that if you weren't comparing them side by side in benchmark tests, you would be more than happy with any of them.
That's one of the points that I try to like always emphasize. Like, guys, turn off your FPS counters. I guarantee the difference between 6,000 mega transfer per second versus 5,600 mega transfer per second. I guarantee between a 7600 versus a 7600 X3D at ultra settings on a 1440p game, like, you wouldn't be able to visually tell the difference unless you were looking for it. But then at that point, you're not even enjoying the game. You're pixel peeping and trying to find an issue with parts that already work just fine. So I'm glad Linus drove that point home, because I talk about that all the time. Like, who cares about the counters? As long as it's not like a stuttery mess or like, you know, choppy gameplay or like low FPS, just use it.
It's just that you would be ever so slightly happier with Zach's Tech Turf. He managed a score of 271, and that's in spite of the fact that his 11x aesthetics multiplier was multiplied by 0.
That was the whole strategy, Linus.
Which leaves with 297 points.
Oh my
of a
God.
possible 300 points. The nerd on a budget possible. With 297 points.
He was going for a handshake, wasn't he?
With 297
Handshake.
points.
That was totally
Out of a
handshake.
possible 300 points. The nerd on a budget.
I will say, I do not know how to accept victory. This it's like, what are you supposed to do when you win something and they raise your hand? Like, are you supposed to cheer? I don't know. Like, I didn't know how to react, so I was just kind of smiling and kind of laughing, but very awkward altogether. This ending.
Undisputed.
And then now I'm also standing here awkwardly as he finishes the rest of the video again.
Intercontinental champion of building a computer for exactly $1,000.
Give it a little bit, you know, some personality. It's just a black box, so.
How are you feeling at the end of this day?
It honestly went how I thought it would. Nerd on a budget. I mean, he knows how to maximize his budget.
I'm a little disappointed with how I did. I definitely did not choose the right GPU, so for next time, I would go with the Radeon card.
Kind of expected those results. Maybe I should just stick with modding retro consoles, but had a whole lot of fun.
How do you think you did?
Pretty happy with the build. I like the way it turned out aesthetically.
I like the way
Wish
exacts
aesthetics
turned out
would
aesthetically
matter a little
too.
bit more than they did.
Audience, if the aesthetics matter to you, comment down below. Let them know.
They do.
I'd probably get a little bit nicer of a case. You know, get a little bit better aesthetics, and maybe one that has a side panel too. So.
How does it feel to be the champion?
It feels pretty good.
What do you think was your key to victory?
Throwing a big chunk of money at the graphics card, that helped.
Other than your own build, what was your favorite one today?
I like Zach's. It looks the nicest for sure. People would pick a slightly worse performing PC with like twice the aesthetics, right? So
11 times.
11 times.
Thanks, Jawa.
And Seasonic.
And Sonic for making this possible, and massive shout out to you guys for coming all the way up here. If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe go check out the time we challenged
Alright.
our writers to configure.
So that was the video. Okay, so a couple of things people say. Let me go back to this. Brandon, I saw your comment. The thumbnail, yes, that is the Raja Jackson. I do follow like combat sports, and I do watch the Wade Concept because I am a fan of boxing. Not so much a fan of mixed martial arts or UFC. I watch that from time to time. But I did see what happened at that wrestling event with Psycho Stu. I am all kind of up to date with that. It's kind of crappy situation what happened. But yeah. Also, Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. What? I'm definitely going to watch that, even though it's an exhibition. I'm a sucker for those kinds of like exhibition fights and stuff. Big fan of boxing, but also the exhibition stuff. But yeah. Let's see. So someone said, I want that sticker. So I got these stickers made for when I meet people in real life, which, speaking of, I don't know how many of you who are watching are going to go to PAX West. PAX happens in Seattle every single year on Labor Day weekend. PAX West is this weekend. I will be there Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to have my camera. I'm going to be doing those street interview videos about what's in people's PCs and stuff like that. If you are there, reach out to me on the Discord or something, and then maybe we can meet up and you could be in a video and I could give you a sticker or just like hang out and talk for a little bit. But yeah, that's what the sticker is. So I got a bunch of these vinyl stickers that I just like hand out to people when I go places. It's my equivalent of a business card. So thanks for the reminder. I need to put these in my bag because I often forget to have these on hand. Yeah. Did you get a good subscriber boost? Let me take a look at my channel analytics. I did get a boost in subscribers. Let me see. Where is the number? So I gained about 4,000-ish subscribers, it looks like, since the video has... Well, so I have my normal subscribers, but then also it looks like I got a spike of about 4,000. So, what is that compared to three? Like, that's like 1.3% of my total subscriber count of 300-ish thousand. So I did get a boost. I'm very curious. I was the smallest channel there. Tito was the next smallest. He's 300-something thousand, I believe. Then Zach at 1.5 million and Tech Joyce at over 2 million. So I'm curious what kind of growth the other people got, specifically the ones over 1 million. Because I would imagine a lot of the viewers already knew who they were because they had more reach to begin with. But yeah. I say aesthetics are important to me, but I'm still going to pick the best looking cheap parts. You won't catch me spending $30 a fan or anything. That is a good point. Yeah, like, obviously for the build, at least I know I did. I can't really speak. Tito seemed to be okay with choosing a uglier case, but I think he might have also chosen it because it was $20-something, right? But I would not be opposed to using a $20 case as long as it wasn't like completely bad and ugly for $1,000 build, because then that's just more for money for performance parts. But like, I think all of us somewhat tried to make the build with the remaining money that we had look at least decent. I don't think anyone was trying to actively sabotage their build to make it ugly. Tito's case didn't have a separate chamber, so that's why his wire, and he's not as experienced PC building, so that's why his cable management, people like might criticize that. But with those cases, like it didn't even look like it had a rear chamber. It was just like a single chamber case. So hey Danny, I've been watching your channel for a while. I'm 16, gathering money for a beast build. Would you recommend a 5070 Ti or 9070 XT paired with the Ryzen? Budget is 2.6K. Honestly, do you think you're ever gonna care about the content creation side of things? Do you think you're ever gonna use programs like Blender? Do you think you're gonna ever want to stream or record gameplay just make any content that make use of AI? I think the 5070 Ti versus 9070 XT, especially considering they're almost the same price, 9070 XTs you can't really find for what's it called? Let me see, 9070 XT. Newegg. I think those are like 700, 720 or something. And you can find 5070 XTs for around MSRP of $750 now. So, given that price, they're pretty they're comparable cards. You could go either or. If the 9070 XT was actually $600, then that would be a different story. It's not that much more money because, like, looking at, let me see, lowest price. What's the lowest price one? This is an open box, so I'm not sure if we can count that. Oh wait, is this one actually for $700? So it's $50 less. I am willing to argue that for people, especially a graphics card at this price range, this expensive, you might start getting into the category of people who actually care about ray tracing, because these cards are more capable of like running it, and NVIDIA is gonna take the lead there, on top of all the other things I said. So I don't think you could go wrong either or, but I think most people deep down inside, right? I think most people deep down inside know if they want to lean one way or another. Here's a trick that I learned years ago. If you are having trouble deciding between two things, take a coin, assign one head, assign one tails. Then you flip it. The moment you catch the coin and look at it, you'll know which one you want. Because if you catch it and you're like, yes, it landed on... Like, forcing that 50-50 coin flip decision, it'll actually tell you which side you're leaning towards. You'll know instantly when you look at the result if you kind of swayed one way or the other. So try doing that. I would say they're pretty much equal in terms of like what into the value that they bring for the prices that they're at. Or you could also look up benchmarks. Like, what games are you playing specifically? Look up benchmarks of those cards for those games, because sometimes AMD has the advantage and sometimes NVIDIA has the advantage, just depending on the developer, right? But yeah, that's my advice. I'm not going to tell you which card specifically to buy. I'm just going to give you the information to make your own decision. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Take it easy. I just bought a 6070 XT for $115. I can't buy new since I started watching you. Yeah, $115 is a crazy deal. 6700 XTs are worth at least double that. Man, we're already an hour and 40 minutes in stream. To watch that 27-minute video, because I was commenting and reacting on it, it took like a whole hour and a half. $16 old and $2,600 budget is wild. Killing it, dude. I mean, I would say that is a crazy, if you maximize and spend all $2,600, you will have, I feel like for that age range, you will be in the top 1%, if not like 0.1% of kids that age and how nice of computers they have. So, yeah. Demon Mitt says, I've been entirely NVIDIA for years, but I'm at a point. Next personal rig update, I'm going AMD. I've just had continuous drivers issues with 2 different NVIDIA cards. Which one specifically, Demon Mitt? Which cards? That, because, yes, there has been for the last, I don't know, I guess for the last almost quarter now, there's been issues that people have been reporting with the 50 series cards, which is kind of strange because I feel like for every person that there's issues, there's a lot of people that aren't. So I wonder, like, is this something that just a fresh reformat or something can fix? But, I mean, Demon Mitt, you're pretty experienced, so I would imagine you've tried everything and still have the issues. That's not to say that, like, people still aren't having problems with AMD cards or Intel cards, too. Like, I've had... My issues that I've had with the Intel card specifically has been with Premiere Pro. So I'm kind of leaning, like, once I'm done with this B580, I might go for, like, a mid-range NVIDIA card, just because, for Premiere Pro, it's like, and for OBS and stuff, too, I feel like, and the AI voice, noise reduction stuff, like, NVIDIA, for me, provides a lot of value, which does not apply to everyone out there, right? People who only game, not going to get as much value out of it. But for me, like, it would be worth spending a little bit extra on an NVIDIA card. Or just use, you know, some NVIDIA... I would be okay with using a 4060 Ti. I actually recently picked one up from the latest pickup video. So yeah, I might sidestep to a mid-range NVIDIA card in the near future. You had a 3090 and I currently have a 4080, no matter what. Oh, you're having trouble with the 30 and 40 series cards, which I was curious if it was only the 50 series, but they use the same drivers as the 40s. NVIDIA's, like, their drivers are all packaged together, regardless of generation. Like, you still use the same one. Dong said, Dong too long. Dan, I remember saying you graduated high school in 2007. We're the same age. What was your first CPU, GPU? Oh, your first one? So my first one, we're counting like the PC we built, right? Not our family computer. The first one was Intel E... Which one? It's a Intel... Was it a Core 2 Duo? Yes, I think it was a Core 2 Duo. I don't... E7400 or something? Okay, that's not sounding right. But with a GTX 280. I think I finally pulled that out. Let me see if I can find it. I think I actually have it, which I need to make a video on. Or not. Could have sworn I pulled it out of storage. Nope, I can't find it. But yeah, my first one was a GTX 280, which was like a high-end card from when NVIDIA first transitioned their naming scheme over to the GTX lineup. I think it was the 1 gig model. I forget. But I wanted to do a revisit video to that. But yeah. But if we're talking about my first computer that I like heavily started gaming on, I mean, our first family computer was like back in 1995 or 1996, and I don't remember what the specs were on that. I just remember it had Windows 95 on it. But then the first one that I remember actually opening up and like trying to upgrade and stuff was some like 3-ish gigahertz Pentium 4 processor with a GeForce MX 400. It was either MX 400, 420, or 440. I can't remember the exact card, but it was in that ballpark. I wish I could somehow pull up the specs of the computer that I got into PC gaming with in high school. It was a Costco pre-built compact Presario. That's all I can remember about it. I've tried to look up compact Presario from the year, 2004 to or whatever, whenever we bought that, to find the model, but the internet wasn't, as archived back then as today. What made you build your first PC? Is it for gaming or something else? Gaming, for sure. Definitely gaming. My first PC, which I think I've posted on the Discord server. Let me see. We can look at it. I pulled it up before. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, yeah, we can pull up the specs and then see. General. From Nerd on a Budget. Which, if you guys didn't know, oh man, can I not look for media? Has link, embed, or file? Yes. Image. Okay, we should be able to sort it out easier now. Where is it? I've posted my invoice. Here it is. Oh, okay, it was an E8400. So this is my first ever PC build. Bought from Newegg in the year 2009, I'm pretty sure. I was looking through my 3D Mark results and found my first custom build PC from 2003. You were using 3D Mark. So I didn't learn about 3D Mark until after I started YouTube. So that would have been like 2016. Prior to that, I never did benchmarks or anything like that. I just, I was comfortable building PCs at that point, but I never was testing them with dedicated benchmarking programs. I was using just games to test, right? But then once I started getting into the whole YouTube side of things, I learned about benchmarking and all that stuff. So, yeah. But I mean, isn't it kind of crazy? The 280 wasn't the most powerful graphics card during this generation. That would have been the, what was it, 295? Let's take a look. GTX 200 series, NVIDIA. I think it was the 295, which was like a dual GPU. Yeah, 295. That was and the 285 was above it as well. So the GTX 295 was I think it was dual GPU. And how much was that going for? What was the MSRP? Do they even list that here? Price. Where is it? I guess I could just Google it. GTX 295 release price. It launched at $500. Kind of crazy how the top dog card now launches at 4 times the amount, which I know there's inflation and stuff, but still. Back then, getting almost one of the top dog cards for $260, an 80 series card, kind of crazy. I made hella money in high school burning CDs, top notch at the time. I never did that, but I did buy burned CDs of games like Warcraft 3 and Command & Conquer Red Alert from people who burned CDs. Yes, I bought pirated goods. I made some MP3. Let's leave it at that. Yeah. Yep. Age of Empires. I didn't play much of Age of Empires 2. I played a lot of that Age of Empires, the Gold Edition, from which I believe is from the first one, right? Empires Gold Edition. It's a bundled version of the original. Yeah, I played a lot of this one. I remember using the cheat codes to get you the guy in the convertible with the rocket launcher and the laser. Photon Man, I believe, was the code. But yeah, never. And then after that, I got into other games like Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft, so I never gave too much time. Oh, I did play a lot of Red Alert and not the original Command and Conquer and original Red Alert. Didn't play much beyond that, like Tiberium Sun, Red Alert 2, Generals, all that stuff. But there's actually gonna be a Command and Conquer Red Alert appearance in this upcoming. It's a very brief appearance, but it's an appearance in this upcoming LAN Party Stories video. Photon Man, and then Rain Man was one that turned the archers into trees, I think. I don't, man, these codes are like, we're talking over 20 years ago I was using them. But yeah. Did you play console? I did play console up until I started playing World of Warcraft, and then that sucked me into the world of PC gaming. Alright, Chris linked something in the stream submissions. Where we got? Oh, your score and 3D Mark. Alright, result not found. Chris, it's not working. Do I have to be logged in? I don't even know if I have a logged in account. Can you post a picture or a screenshot? It's not coming up. Yeah, it says result not found for some reason. You might have to be logged in. What are the twins doing? They're chilling upstairs, I think. Okay, let me see if I can pull them down to end the stream with, because we are about 2 hours in the stream. As we just do like a just chill session and hanging out. Let me be right back. Okay. I've been made aware. She might have poo-pooed. Let me see. Let me see. Can't tell. Is that a fart? We might have to change you, girl. Yeah? How you doing? I don't know if she's been fed recently. So hopefully she doesn't fuss. But for anyone who missed it from the beginning of stream, we got Lexi in the Team Green baseball jersey. Oh, I guess now that I'm only holding one twin, we can see from behind. There is a backside to this jersey. Shout out again to Daniel Hulon, which I don't know if Daniel... I did not see him in the chat, so hopefully he can catch the stream afterwards. Oh, let me... Here we go. We shine the light away from your face, girl. Hello. You just in a daze right now? You just chilling? Okay. As long as you chilling, we good. We good. They are growing. They are growing. Lexi is such a chubbermeister. She is so chubby. My goodness, girl. You so chubby. I'm just grateful that they are, for all we know, so far, they are healthy. And they're growing at their expected rate. So, hi. One thing I like doing is when we're burping them, we lean forward and align their spine to get them to burp. But then their necks are getting strong too. Like, they're able to, they don't have floppy necks anymore, which is good. It makes it a lot easier to like if I hold her out, she can support her neck. She's been doing good on tummy time, so yeah. She's been doing good. Next LAN video coming out hopefully this Friday, if not Saturday. And if all things go wrong, maybe Sunday, if I have rendering issues. But I'm aiming for Friday. What was worse when I actually got pooped on exorcist style while changing? They've had a fair amount of blowouts where, like, you know, the poop goes up their back and makes a big mess because it somehow their diapers, no matter how we put them on, they just love pooping up their back. But I have not gotten. Oh, bless you, bless you. I have not gotten poop sprayed at me yet. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Her sister is rocking the red. She's upstairs hanging out with her auntie, though. Oh my goodness. Yes. Anything else you would like to talk to the viewers about? They are getting super talkative now. It's so cute. I'll put it in the next time I update the Be Right Back screen. But they talk so much now. She's just kind of shy right now. She's like hanging out and like... Teams Wavy Motorsports. Dude, I gotten into gaming all because of Nerd on a Budget. This wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for vids and Discord. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words, man. I appreciate it. That's why we're here. That's why, like, that's one of the things I love most about being a content creator. And that's, like, the community that we've built here on the stream and in the Discord server. It's just to gather like-minded people and, you know, get new people into this hobby we all love. Like, we all want more quality people in the things that we do. Are you using an Intel CPU to do the streaming for your LAN party? I use the most recent LAN party. I used the 12700K with the B580. And because I record gameplay and on camera, I use a different encoder for, I forget which one I use for the gameplay, and then the one that I use for the camera footage. But yeah. Got the wipes, one hand fanny pack with the wipes and the garbage can, other coming in like a Terminator of diapers. These girls, we're still changing their diapers like 10 to 12 times a day. It is a lot. Because it's 2. That's like 20 to 24 diapers a day. So like that's 100 diapers potentially after 4 or 5 days. It's like, my goodness, girls. You know how many landfills we're filling up? Because I'm not doing cloth diapers. I'm sorry. The idea of scrubbing cloth diapers and then washing them in the washing machine, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not environmentally friendly, even though I think there might have been studies showing that the cloth diaper might not be that much greener than disposable diapers. But I can't do it. Can you imagine wiping poop off of 20 to 24 cloth diapers a day with twins? No way, Jose. Dang, I'm looking at your older videos and see a PAX recap 2016. Yeah, it's almost 10 years ago. That's crazy. The PAX recap videos, I stopped doing them because it seemed like, you know, people don't care about them, unfortunately. But the PAX recap videos are fun because then you also see my friends in there from the LAN Party Stories videos. So, but I go to PAX now and I make different kind of content now. I do the interviews. I miss mines being that small. Those were the most precious moments. But I would say those are the days I miss them, or precious moments are all. But I would say those are the days I miss the most when they're more dependent. Yeah, it's crazy because I'm sure during that time you were probably like, oh my goodness, I'm so sleep deprived. Like, these babies are constantly needing things, and, you know, like, there's a lot of hard parts of being a parent to newborns because of how needy they are. And the, you know, the lack of sleep that you get. But then I'm sure I'm going to look back and miss them being this size. Or even when they were tiny. When they were like half the weight. They're now about double the weight that they came out at. So, yeah, I think I'm going to miss this. But I'm sure they'll have, their next phases are going to be fun too. And we'll make memories with those too. My goodness, girl. Are you about to fall asleep? You drooling. We can see your shiny drool on the camera. Are you going to any more liquidation stores? I'm trying to find more, but there's not a ton in my area. And I want to only go to, there's a high chance there's at least, if not computer parts. So I've been trying to look around, and there's, in my area, like that one is the biggest well-known bin store. There's other thrift stores, but they don't seem to focus on the gamers care about. How is the baby mom? Melissa is doing, she is, I don't want to give her personal business, but she is struggling through some health things right now. Nothing like, you know, life-threatening, but because of being pregnant and then post-birth, you go through so many hormonal changes. She is going through some stuff right now that it's tough, and yeah, I don't want to like give her business out there, but she is in good health aside from that birth and hormonal related changes she went through. Like, I'd love to see you do a Scrapyard Wars with LTT, so when, lol. I don't know if that's even, like, obviously, I think what LTT is trying to do is to shine light on, like, different creators. So I don't know if there's a likely chance that I would be in another collab with them, at least in the near future. Because you do want to, like, spread the love, right? You don't want to just keep on bringing the same people on. Like, they want to help smaller or other channels and like bring them together. So to just keep constantly using or focusing and bringing in one specific channel, I don't think that's like what the goal is, which I'm perfectly okay with. I'm thankful to even be part of that one video. I don't expect to be invited back to future things. Obviously, if I am ever invited to a thing like that again, it's an instant yes for me, but I don't expect another invitation for a while. Yeah. Yeah, there is that period of postpartum. It's definitely real. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not postpartum depression. It's like actually like physically with her health, not like mentally. She's going through some things. So, but again, it's not like life threatening. So, we're just trying to deal with it as we go. They did Scrapyard Wars in the U.S. before. Yeah, they did, and they did it with like guest. Didn't they do it with guest channels in the past before? I could have sworn there was one where they brought... Yeah, they did one with, like, Austin and Jay, right? So... But, I again, there are people higher on the totem pole than me if they were to do... Because the Scrapyard War series is even bigger than that collab that I was just in. Like, it's a multi-episode thing, right? So, I can list off the top of my head so many channels that would probably have higher priority. Like Jay, well, they already did Jay. Did they do, was Bitwit ever in one? I forget, on the older Scrapyard Wars. But like, yeah, Kyle, Paul, like there's plenty of other channels that would also be good fits for it. I'm surprised, like David is up in Vancouver. He would have been perfect for this most recent collab. But it's just probably like a random name drawn out of a hat thing. But yeah, he was local, so... What up, Chris? How old are you? How old do I look? Chat. If you know my age, don't say anything. But if you don't know my age, or if you know my age but want to say how old I look, then say in the chat. But yes, how old do I look? This is a question I get somewhat frequently. And then when people hear the answer, they're very surprised. But yes, before I tell you my age, I want you to guess what would you put my age at. 24, says Watery Events. Okay, you know my age, but if you didn't know, just based on aesthetics. Based on aesthetics, what would you say? 17? Okay, I think 17. Have you seen 17-year-olds? I look young, but 17-year-olds actually look like babies. They actually look like this with big bodies. 18, I say sucking up. You look 26, 27, maybe 25. He's about 33. Okay. Any more guesses? 22 is what I would have said, says Born Joker, but he knows how old I am. These girls, they're so fun to hug. I can't wait till they get a little bigger so I can give them even more tight hugs. Right now I gotta be careful. I don't want to squeeze them to death, but once they get a little bigger, I can give them much more tight hugs. Younger than Linus. How old is Linus? Isn't he like 37, 38? It's like Joyce said. Yeah, that caught me off guard when they kept that part in where Joyce complimented my skin, which that is a huge compliment coming from, you know, a younger person. He's almost 40. Asian men look younger, but once they become dads, it goes downhill. We'll have to see. Keep up with the streams over the years. We'll see if I quickly age. But I just turned 36 this summer. I just turned 36 years old, so these girls are going to have a dad in their 50s when they graduate high school. I will be 54-ish at that time. Linus is 39. I didn't think he was that old. I thought he was like I guess a couple years older than me. He's like 38. So that's in the ballpark. Your age definitely shows less than mine, says Coalition Gaming Chris. I think the lack of facial hair helps too. I like this angle of her where you can see her double chin. What up? What up, chat? What up, chat? Girl, you have been so chill. My goodness. Thank you. Love you. Dude, we are the same age. Well, I turned 37 in a few months. Yeah, basically we're the same age. Class of 2007. What? Okay. I think it's about time to head out. This girl's like, I actually did poop. You need to change my diaper. You've been so good. Extra milk for you. They can't have anything except formula and breast milk at this age. Not even water. I would give you treats, girl. The only treat you get is extra vitamin D drops, maybe. Or a toothbrush with some fruit-flavored, children's-safe toothpaste. You definitely do not look 36, bro. PewDiePie is younger than you. Is he? Oh, yeah. I think he's like 35, right? He's barely younger than me, I think. She's so chill. Well, sometimes they poop, but it's like not... It's like a streak, so it's not really a poop. So, hard to tell. But yeah, alright. I'm going to head out. Didn't seem like anyone from the chat is going to PAX, but hopefully I do run into some viewers at PAX. That would be cool. I would love to get more viewers on the channel in the YouTube short stuff. But yeah, for this weekend, look forward to the LAN party stories video. I'm trying to get it out on Friday so that people have the weekend to watch it. You know, it's Labor Day weekend. It's a long weekend. People are going back to school. Just trying to give people like one last thing to be able to watch before the dreaded going back to school, if they didn't start yet. But that's what I'm going to be working on, like, right after the stream. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. You're done. She's done. So, everyone, thank you for a very super fun stream. Again, you can catch me on the Discord server. I'm starting to post more to TikTok and Instagram, so be sure to follow me there. Everyone else, though, have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week. And then a weekend coming up. And yeah, I'll see you in the comments of the LAN party vid when it drops, as well as in next week's stream. Same time, same day as always. Bye-bye, everyone. Say bye-bye, Lexi. Bye-bye.